welcome to another episode of Inside the Barrel, where Jon and I talk about random things in the world, such as ServiceNow and consulting life. And if you haven't heard already, Knowledge is right around the corner. It's
Oh
next week
yeah.
in New York and in Holland. And so, super excited. Today's session, we'll just kind of talk about some of the agendas that we think are interesting, whether they're in person or just even live ones or sessions that you can, digitally sign up for. And yeah, um, we can jump right in. So, for those that haven't done anything with Knowledge in the past, a lot of it can be found on their knowledge.servicenow.com site, and you can explore the library. There's a bunch of different filters that they have for you, so you can, find different things. It is available. There is a digital version of it that you can sign up for that is free. So you can, attend some of the digital ones. And then for the in-person ones, there's a few different places. So currently I have open right now the one in Hague. Um, and yeah, any first thoughts? Have you been to a Knowledge before, Jon?
Yes, I've been to a few. I think my first one was 2013 or 2014, the San Francisco, when it was in San Francisco. That was my first one.
Awesome.
And yeah, it was pretty interesting. And then I've been going to them ever since, except for the last couple of years. I haven't gone. I was going to say, though, I was going to ask, can you show how to register for the digital one?
Maybe.
I only say it because I'm like, I need to register for the digital one, but I don't. When I
Yeah.
signed in, it was like, oh, you got to acknowledge if you're going to be here, it's going to be like $1,500. I'm like, wait a minute, I don't want to pay for anything.
So I do know there is a digital one because someone sent me a screenshot of being able to sign up for it.
Mm,
Um, and so maybe at the end, let's
okay.
go in and we'll try to figure it out because I don't want to lose all of my tabs that I have trying
Sure,
to figure
sure.
it out.
No, I
Um,
totally understand.
so I do want to give a quick shout out to Sharon Barnes, who did a recap similar to this, of her favorite
Mm,
ones that she's gonna go to. So definitely, check it out if you haven't. If you like, she essentially took the excerpt from it and a link to it, which is, super awesome. A lot of work went into just figuring all of those out. So.
yeah.
And and so, Jon, as I go through these, like if you notice here, this is a really long list.
Oh, it's
These are just
huge.
like
I
the
had to
on-demand
filter down.
ones.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
had to do a lot of filtering.
And then there's the San Diego release one. So most of the San Diego release ones, the on-demand ones, you could watch today, right? Like
Yeah,
they
yeah.
or soon, right? This one's, May 9th, right? So there are some that are coming out right before Knowledge. And then the live ones. So the two that I focused on were the live ones and the on-demand ones. I feel like the San Diego release ones, they've already been out, right? And they're the
Hmm.
things that are kind of new in San Diego.
Yep.
And so I just kind of opened a bunch of tabs so we could go through these tabs and you could see the ones that I was able to add to my agenda and other ones that I haven't been able to. And, you can give me your thoughts on, why did you choose this one?
Yeah.
So the first one that I apparently have a tab open for is the amplifier expertise with the Impact Squad. So I don't know
Impact Squad. What
if
is
you've
that?
heard.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. ServiceNow Impact. That's a new thing I just came across.
Exactly, yeah. So essentially, ServiceNow's impact is, for customers that need extra review, best practices, really help, transform the, very detailed knowledge of ServiceNow, and they can, essentially, help you improve the impact that ServiceNow has, right? I'm assuming that's
Okay.
the pun that they're trying to go with, and. And so I figured, I'm very new to it as well. So I think, maybe there's some good nuggets that they'll have in here that the Impact Squad could share. So
Cool.
right
Cool.
on. Um, so DB is doing a session on satisfied employees lead to satisfied customers. So I personally just love a lot of those talks that talk about like, working on the employee experience because I truly believe in this like, sense. If you have happy employees or they're going to do the best work of their lives.
Right.
And
Right.
and so if they're doing the best work of their lives, then the customers are going to get, the best, the most out of that. And so I'm interested to see what DB does here on. It's really related to HR. I don't know a lot about the HR personally, so we'll kind of see what I can learn
I,
from that.
I've spent some time in HR, especially the tran well, the evolution of HR and ServiceNow, way
Hmm.
back when it was global, they scoped it, and then
Hmm.
kind of the move into Employee Center and
Hmm.
Employee Center Pro. It's been a neat journey to see happen because back in the Wild West days of early HR, but it's true. I agree with that sentiment. Satisfy employees lead to satisfied customers. I think that's correct,
Hmm.
and I like the direction they've taken HR since its inception way back when, and I think there's a lot that can happen there. So I would think that would be a good one too. It's only 20 minutes. It's not a huge
Yep. Yep.
um, piece of your day. Um,
Yeah. The problem is when you try to like add to your agenda, pop up. This session is full. So
is it not a on demand one? Come on.
this one wasn't an on-demand one, so it's like, oh no.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's too bad.
So moving on, running your business with Now platform, Apodies. I don't actually even know
Potty,
what
a potty.
this company is. But health and social care go hand in hand. So it's a government-owned organization creating the first electronic clients and patient record system. So that's probably
Ooh,
why I'm interested in this, just because healthcare is really interesting in growing in this space when it comes to technology. So I'm curious to see how how they utilize ServiceNow's platform. Is it just the IT part? Is it a bunch in
yeah.
the HR part, or sorry, in the healthcare space? So
Because
that'll be
I
cool.
was gonna say that almost sounds to me it's intriguing because are they storing client and
Yeah,
patient
exactly.
data in
Exactly.
ServiceNow? Because if
Yep.
they are, I'd really like to see, how they're doing that and how they're protecting it.
Yeah. I do
Um,
know there is, I saw a slide recently, maybe it's in one of these, um, it, ServiceNow is HIPAA compliant, and so they have a whole info on how they're HIPAA compliant and what are the certifications that they have for it. So there
okay.
is a way you can manage that data in ServiceNow.
Is HIPAA global or is it just the states? Like what do they use in Europe?
Yeah, that's a good question. Don't know the answer. Um, yeah. So, moving on. This is the one for you, John.
Ooh, yes,
And this
yes.
is a training one. So we'll see if I have time because I saved a bunch of these like in-person ones, but they're like 2 hours long, and I don't know. I
Mm,
haven't even looked at my agenda to see if it's there, but you know, essentially working with UI Builder sounds really awesome.
yeah, when I went through to even try to look at a list, um, I generally am very focused on what I want to go. I don't like look down the entire list. I hit specific
Mhm.
what is it products. I'm trying to remember where my I don't even
Yeah,
have a list anymore. I
maybe it
closed it, but
was products.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, the second one. So I only marked
Mhm.
a few of these that I was really interested in. One of them was um,
Awesome.
next UI, but I lost my list.
It's all right. So yeah, I think this one's exciting, especially because it's focused on Portal. So that's like the longest time I didn't know if UI Builder's ready for Portal,
Yeah.
but they're feeling like, it's almost there. Then this is gonna be a really awesome one for anyone that does portal work. So
Were you able to get that one on
nope.
your? It doesn't surprise me that it's full, that one, anyways, because I think a lot of people are.
Yeah, and I don't actually know how the full thing will work here. Like if I'm there in person and the room isn't full, or maybe after 5 minutes they let people in. I'm not 100% sure how that's going to work out.
Well, if it's anything like they used to, it's kind of that same thing. If you're there, you can get on a list,
Hmm.
and after so many minutes, they'll say, okay, well, not everyone showed up that signed up for it, and stuff like that. So maybe you can get it. I hope you can,
Yeah,
because I'd love to see the material you get from it.
maybe I'll stop closing these and I'll save them just because I don't think I've saved them anywhere else. I was like closing these tabs so I could, have space, but Um, so then, yeah, we talked about healthcare again. So, building an adaptable business model in healthcare. I think that's also just all of these industry solution ones are really interesting to me because, it's really ServiceNow is trying to expand outside of IT, right? Or
Yeah.
outside of the normal org operations, I'll call it. Your HR, your security, your IT, they're trying to solve like complex business problems for a different industry. So,
Did you happen to see if there was, speaking of business models and so forth, anything about moving cheese? Because I think some companies struggle with process change. You know, they
mhm.
bring a consultant in, and the consultant comes up with better ways to run processes, but companies are very resistant to changing processes.
Yeah, I mean that's definitely a common theme anywhere, right? So,
Well, yeah, but I only bring it up because I think that's one of the, as we talk about the consultant life,
mhm,
something I've seen is that businesses kind of want to shoehorn or fit a square peg into a round hole because they don't want to change their processes. And so it would be nice if ServiceNow would provide a session on, hey, sometimes you got to move the cheese, or the cheese will get moved, and you got to be okay with it. And this sounds close if you're, adaptable,
mhm.
but it would be kind of neat to see one of those show up.
Yeah, let's see. Maybe I did save one. We'll find out. Connecting CCEP employees to people and culture with AI search. So this
Okay.
one was interesting because you know ServiceNow has been built off of Zing for so long,
Hmm. Hmm.
and seeing what AI search can really do in a unique use case. I don't know what CCEP is. I'm assuming it's an organization, but
Yeah, yeah.
I think it would just be interesting to see like search accuracy of AI search and like how they're potentially using AI search to solve some internal problems. So
I'm kind of excited about AI search. I think it is thing. The snug I just went to down in Salt Lake,
mhm.
um, they brought that up. They mentioned Zing and how it was old and busted. The new hotness is AI search, and so I'm pretty excited about it because I hope there's more information on, fine tuning, and
Yeah.
really having some management tools available for AI search, because I think it's going to be huge. It's one of those things where, as an end user,
Mhm.
I don't want to go. I think there was a session here that talks about, and it was a unified portal one, but the concept is the same thing. I don't want to have to go. I think he mentioned going from store to store to store to find something.
Mhm.
Same with a portal. I don't want to have to go to all these other places to find something. I want it in one spot. If I can type it in the search and it shows me, gets me what I'm after, and I can click on it and be done, I'm super happy.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, I agree. And and it's interesting. I wonder, like, I just had a random thought. Like, it would be cool to have sessions on using ServiceNow in 2017, right? Just to even like show like the differences sometimes of like, let me bring up a Helsinki instance and let me just kind of show what it has.
UI, what was it? UI 15, UI
15
11.
or yeah,
Hey, look,
whatever.
there's icons.
Yeah, yeah. That would be a fun session, maybe in
Yeah.
CreatorCon or something. So moving on, the digital transformation and shared services. I think shared services is a very like not buzzword, but a very common thing where an organization maybe supports a lot of other organizations or is centralized in some way that they are sharing a service across different departments. And so I think understanding or seeing shared services within organizations, in this case it saved them 30% cost savings. So it's interesting to potentially see some of those examples.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah.
um, So I think this one around process optimization, I don't know if this
Mm.
it classifies for what you were going for, but seeing data-driven improvements with process optimization. So I think process optimization is like super awesome. And the downside is it's like you need so many records in order to be able to use it. It's on like enterprise only. So even like your medium or your small companies can't really use it
Hmm.
without paying, absurd amounts. So the
Right.
idea of, getting data to see how your tickets are being routed or information is being or processes are being utilized, I think is just really cool. And anything data driven for me is normally catches my eye. Financial services, risks, and compliance. So this one's similar, other than healthcare, financial services, I think are really hot in the ServiceNow space right now. And I think this is cool. Like if we think of like all the hacks that have gone on in the banking industry or all the compliance and risk necessary or things necessary, being able to tie two different products, the financial services industry model, and also using IRM or your GRC or SecOps. I think there is some really cool synergy there. So
Yeah.
interested to see uh, what Accenture has done in that space.
Yeah. I think in that snug the other day down in Salt Lake, they were talking about being able to connect into tools that have those risk um, things in them, and you can
Compliance.
monitor. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
you can monitor them, and yeah, it was pretty neat. That's not for me. It's not necessarily something that catches my eye
Hmm. Yeah.
because I don't spend a lot of time in that space, but
Yeah.
um, it is it's good for risk mitigation, right?
Yep. Yeah, and then speaking of IKEA, no, is super risky. No, I hope they give away some free IKEA stuff. This is why I'm going to this one.
Some flat pack furniture.
Yeah, I could, carry on the plane or something. Um, so the reason I'm actually interested in this one is around document management. I find that
Okay.
like there's a lot going on in document management in ServiceNow, from like the healthcare of like signing documents
Yep.
to reading, OCR technology with document intelligence. So there's getting some like really cool stuff around the document space. And so I think this one is going to be interesting to see how many papers, this is what I'm expecting. They're going to open a slide that says, this is how many papers are signed at IKEA. And then it's like, and then they're going to be, this is how we, did it in ServiceNow. So we saved this many
Yeah.
trees.
It used to be SharePoint was the document management
Mm,
de facto system because it had the security and all that stuff around it. And I'm glad ServiceNow has matured in that area
mm,
because HR, again, back when HR was new, document management was still problematic. And then there was, you had to add in that there was a plugin for document management, and it still wasn't as solid as SharePoint. So I'm glad they're unifying or bringing that into share or into ServiceNow where you don't have to go outside to another
mm.
system to manage things.
Yeah, yep, I agree. And they will have connectors, right? If you, let's say you're using DocuSign, right, or something like that, like being able to connect with, third-party spokes and things like that are
Yeah, yeah.
definitely top of
The
mind.
HR, yeah, in because I remember when that started working with DocuSign and being able to sign your HR documents was pretty
Hmm.
neat.
So a favorite one of yours, Sean, how to make code available.
I saw
Implement it.
this one. Yeah, I think I saw this one was in, and it caught my eye. I was like, ooh. Interesting.
Yeah, so it's talking about common patterns to use, exposing endpoints. Like I think, yes, citizen developers, not all of them are going to be developing, but for the ones that are going to develop, like how do you make reusable code from admins or other senior or pro developers being utilized by them? So I think it's, in these massive projects where you have code everywhere and you want to be able to, put a segregation of duty and then still want to share information. Like I'm
Yeah.
hoping that this has some, good nuggets in it.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what comes of this one because so I was going to ask you for our audience
Mm.
if you can define citizen developers because I don't know if we all think the same concept of what a citizen developer is.
So I think Chuck recently had a talk about it that there's like three types of developers. You have your pro developers, you have your business line developers, and then you have your citizen developers. And your pro developers are the ones that will, write code, do a bunch of your portal work,
Hmm.
build a lot of the scripts in the background. Your business line developers are the ones that are using like maybe like Flow Designer and are part of, a singular business to solve, a specific need.
Hmm.
And citizen developers are what I would assume is everything else, right? It's kind of the people that it's not like your extreme BAs and it's not your, pro developers that have been writing JavaScript for, 8, 10 years. It's like the people that sit in between that are like, I want to enable my business. I have some, scripting skills. I want to be able to, manage the system or enable or build applications effectively. So
Would you visualize it in like a three circle what is it Venn diagram
Venn diagram.
and have your pro coders, your business uh, users, and then your citizen developers, and then they share just a slight little thing in the
Yeah,
center there.
yeah, I think so. You know, it's still a little fuzzy with me personally because I haven't used Citizen Developer a lot. Like that's where we would want to get Ashu back on, and he's like he has a session on Citizen Developer at this,
Okay.
so I think it's on the list here. But um, yeah, like I like the theory of citizen developer. I think it's just it gets quirky because no one talks about like the business cost of that, right? Like if you hired somebody to work on, some part of the business and then they're kind of just starting to do ServiceNow development, like it, it I don't know where the money, like how that financially works out.
Right, right.
Uh, So, but I'm super interested in citizen developer in general and in enabling the business, especially from a partner perspective, enabling the customer to be able to build on top of whatever we deliver. So,
I'm gonna throw that question out there. I'm gonna write that down and throw that out there after our
after
podcast
this,
today and see
yeah,
what other people think, who what they think citizen developers are, because I think it's an interesting concept, and I think you're right. Depending on where that breaks down, there's money involved, right?
hmm hmm. How do you know a hospital is smart? Based on the number of lives it saves. No, that's a good. I like the catchy title of this. Again, healthcare. I think it's pretty simple. They used a bunch of buzzwords here: virtual care technology, AI, decision support, IoT sensors. Like if they show me some like really cool stuff in ServiceNow, like I'm gonna be excited. Um,
Do they
so
have a? Do they? I wonder if they're. I wonder if they're doing it through
so it looks like
Integration
EY.
Hub
Yeah, it
or
looks like
through
EY is doing it. I have no idea.
mid servers. It'd be interesting to know how they're doing the IoT
Yeah. So
sensors.
so we'll see what they can show. Um, Virtual agent. I think I added a few sessions on virtual agent. I think virtual agent is just really awesome and underutilized, and so any creative ways, people utilize virtual agent is something that I'd be interested in.
Yeah, yeah. We I've done a few, not that I've done the implementation, but I've been on a few projects that have had it as a component to their HR portal,
Hmm.
Um, and again, this is another piece that's come a ways since it first was implemented, and I think it's neat on it's that Amazon experience, right? Where you can contact someone, but really you're just it's looking at the questions you're asking and kind of fuzzy logic behind it, saying, "Oh, it looks like it might be part of this type of questioning. Let's give them this answer," and then ultimately you can speak to someone, but it
Hmm.
helps offload some of that um, need for a live
Hmm.
person to get a lot of 80% of the simple stuff answered. So yeah, virtual agent's a neat thing, and I'm glad it's getting better. And it would be, but I don't understand what a people portal is.
I think that's an HR portal.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. I think the next few are all around a virtual agent. So like
Oh,
using MS
Microsoft
Teams
Teams.
or Slack and connecting with virtual agent for your people portal or your employee center. I think that,
Hmm.
I mean, Microsoft is going to be promoting it, so we'll see what Microsoft does with their own tool. um, I signed up for the knowledge closing reception, because there's light refreshments, drinks. Uh, so hopefully I'll get to meet some people there.
So,
Um,
so speaking of that, when you get to a certain level in your career with ServiceNow, not
uh,
necessarily with the company, but as a ServiceNow admin at a certain level, do knowledges become more of a networking tool or more of a learning, or I mean, do they stay as a learning tool?
I think there's definitely the like two camps there, right? There is the you just joined a company that's investing in ServiceNow and you're pretty new. So let me go get my cert while I'm there. Let me go take some creator con things while I'm there and learn a lot. And then there is the networking side of it where maybe ServiceNow gave you a free ticket, right? Because they want more
Hmm.
customers there. And so you're
Sure.
a VP of a company and you want to connect with other partners or face to face in order to see new things. And then you're potentially someone in like sales, right? That's like you're trying to find a new customer, and there are customers going there, and you're able to talk, find out some issues about their problems, and build a connection that may result in some business.
Yeah,
That would
I
be
agree.
my guess.
Yeah, I think it's dependent on what you do and how many knowledges you've gone to.
Yeah, yeah.
Even though the product is ever changing,
Hmm.
um, there is still, I think someone mentioned it on Jace's post in LinkedIn about the hallway hack, right?
Hmm.
Where you meet, it's where you talk to people and you meet the community.
Hmm.
And it used to be huge, right? Because knowing how to do things there was a smaller group, and trying to figure out stuff. There were certain people you talk to and whatnot. But um, as I've gotten further into my career, I almost find that the networking side of it is much more beneficial. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
there are some great sessions to go to, very informative, but knowing the right people to talk to, I think, is a longer lasting
So
benefit.
for before my time at in the ServiceNow ecosystem. So I've only been in the ServiceNow ecosystem where it's been remote. And so like the networking part to me sounds awesome because I actually get to meet the people that I'm like connecting with on LinkedIn or doing a
Right,
podcast with
right.
or so that part is definitely exciting for me. But before I went to Atlassian's conference, and I remember I was talking to like the head of marketing at the time, and I was like, man, I really like his jacket. He's like, yeah, I'll send you one. And I was like, sweet.
Uh,
Like this is like great networking. And yeah, so I'm excited to see some faces to names, right? So at least
Yeah.
for me. So, I mentioned a bunch of these sessions. I have no idea if I'm going to get to go to all of them, right? Or I haven't even looked if they're overlapping and I have to make a decision.
Right.
So, um, yeah.
It used to be when you'd get them on your agenda, it would notify you, oh, you're overlapping with this one, or there's a conflict here.
Mm.
So if it didn't do it now, they must have changed their calendaring system. But it used to be pretty helpful that you could know if you were going to have conflicts on what you've chosen to go
Mhm.
to.
Yeah. Well, maybe they would use AI search to, move the
Use
schedule
their own
around,
product?
based on who's signing up for these things. I don't know. Yeah, so
Predictive calendaring.
this one's, just I think a beginners to AI search, right? And
Mm,
we'll
yeah.
see what it talks about with typos are handled, indexes. I like to get into the nitty gritty behind the scenes stuff,
Yes.
so I'm
Hmm.
excited to see if this will get to that point, if it's going to be technical enough. So
Yeah. Well, it's only what, 30 minutes. I don't know that it'll get too
yeah,
deep,
yeah.
but yeah,
Um,
I want to get behind AI search too. Like I want to see the I want to open it up and look in.
mhm. RPA is the new hotness right now in San Diego. I didn't get it. I didn't get to join this session because it's full. But I'm curious to see, like, I feel like RPAs can help a lot of people, if they have legacy systems and they're not ready to move off of it. Being able to take some of those repetitive tasks of, yes, I need to fill in this data from one system to another constantly, and they don't have like a REST API in order to do it, and you have a manual person just switching from one system to another and copying pasting data. So yeah,
Ugh.
yeah, it still exists.
Ugh.
Um, this one was like just sounded really cool. No idea if I'll go
That's
to it.
interesting.
Life with robots and AI. Like it talks about like will we all have a digital twin in the career? Where the benefits are, and then some Star Wars reference, and yeah. So we'll
Hmm.
see what what Zorabots is talking about.
Zorabots.
Yeah,
Interesting.
it's yeah. So
Hmm.
we'll see. Um, okay, so this is a book signing, so I have to go to it. I need to get the book.
Yes, do it for sure.
So there's a free book on low code apps for dummies. So
Who wrote that book?
I think Brad and Chuck,
Oh, okay.
and I know Brad recently left ServiceNow. So, or I don't know if he left ServiceNow. He left the developer advocate program. So I
Right. Yeah,
can't
I think I
speak to.
saw that.
So hopefully he's at this conference or something, and I could get him to sign the book.
Sweet.
Oh my gosh, look how many sessions I still have. Whoa. Wow.
Wow.
All right. We'll go faster.
No,
Um,
it's fine.
modernizing the insurance customer experience. I mean,
Okay.
a little plug that Cask is also in this space. So
Yes.
I'm interested to see what the head of financial systems is kind of going to talk about with modernizing the insurance customer experience.
Yeah.
So we'll just kind of see where the synergies lie in our solution and what ServiceNow is doing.
I did a little advising on that. The
Mm,
space that Cass got into. They
mm.
came to me with some questions, and I did a little advising.
Yeah, so just peeking into potentially new things or new synergies. So
Hmm.
excited to see that.
Yeah.
Um, public sector product strategy. Public sector is a big space. Anyone in the government industry in some way, and everyone, if you've ever worked with any government, know that it is painful to fill out forms and work with government agencies in general. So it's
Well,
really
this
exciting to.
this is kind of where I was coming from with my what I was saying before about who moved my cheese and process change. The
Mhm.
government is very uh, how do you say it, stuck in their ways. Like they're very resistant to process change.
Yeah, Yeah, I
and
mean, government is kind of built around being slow intentionally, right?
inefficient. Yeah, they really are.
Yeah,
And that's where I struggle, because I want, I'll sit there and be like, oh my gosh, you could, you could do this, this, and this,
mhm,
and reduce, improve efficiency by X amount. Why don't you just do it? Well, we'd have to go through 45 departments to get it approved, and it's like,
yeah,
oh my gosh,
yeah.
why do you have 45 departments?
Yep, I'm with you. So I'm excited to see the public sector roadmap and strategy. I put a few product roadmaps on here. I don't actually think I'll go to these sessions because
Mm.
most of these I feel like are going to be recorded and easily seeable. But I'd love to see what's going on in HRSD and workspace. Like what caught my eye here was this like indoor mapping technology. Like that sounds cool.
Didn't they already have that? I thought they already had that in, what was it called? Um, they had a mapping thing that would do campuses, right? So
Yeah,
you're
but this says new.
all
I'm
right,
thinking some
new.
IoT camera stuff. Like I don't know. Like we'll see what the product says about it.
Okay. Yeah.
Um, and
Okay.
shout out to SN Utils, right?
Yep.
Like if
That
they're
was
gonna
the only
save
one I
me,
had marked that I still have on my browser window was Arnaud's
yeah,
um
if you're gonna
thing,
give me
his
30
session.
minutes, you're gonna give me 30 minutes back of my day, like hell yeah, I'm gonna go support and do
So
this.
did you notice, I just saw this post the other day that he added um the switcher back
To switcher,
for the
the
your
application
scope.
picker,
Yeah, your application picker and your
your
I'm
scope.
pretty sure the
He
update set.
he also improved, and this one is like just really awesome. He also improved the background scripts some more. So you know how it used to be like black and you can
Uh-huh.
see he
Yeah.
now keeps it on the same page as the script running so you can see the result of your script without having to like go back to your script.
So kind of like explore explore.
Explore, yeah. Yeah, I
Yeah.
guess yeah, so it's like left and right. On the left side is your script, on the right side is the result of running it, and so you can, not have to
Nice.
move from that page.
That really is huge.
Yeah, yeah, I'm excited for it.
The other thing, something I just started using was when you're on a script field and you have the little icon that'll let you open it with script synced into VS Code. Well,
Hmm.
right next to that, there's another little icon of two, what do people call them, alligators? You know, so really it was an open close brackets, the angle brackets. Anyways, you click on that and it opens a new tab in a code editor.
Mm.
So you don't actually have to go through VS Code if you don't, if you want to do something real fast, you don't want to set everything up. Yeah, seriously, it's a game changer.
The the one thing I will say, since we have improved background script so much, I just would love a little button there that's like roll back. Since you can roll back, right? You can click into the record summary, click roll back,
Uh-huh.
and it'll roll back all of your changes. Like, I mean, SN Utils could put that button right there. So like if I'm writing code, I run it and I see the output is not what I wanted, like click roll back, change the code, run it again.
Mm. All
Just
right, there's a request for you.
yeah. I think we
Put
could
the
do that.
button
I could
there.
do that with him at a creator con. I'll go up to him and be like, let's do a hackathon.
Nice, nice.
Um, regulated workflows, so automation with compliance built in. I'm really interested to see like error handling, right? Is I feel like a really big thing, or like how do you enforce that like it's gonna work the way you intend it to work in Flow Designer? So I'm
Okay, so
interested
this
to
is
see.
Flow Designer, not workflows.
I believe.
Because at that snug they were big on they were big on moving away from workflows. Flow
Yeah.
Designer is the de facto replacement.
Yeah, I think this will be in Flow. I think just the word workflows isn't going away because it's a very common word in the industry.
Right,
So,
right. Okay.
um, I mean, swag swap fest. I gotta go to that if I'm gonna get some swag, or maybe I bring some of my Atlassian swag and see if anyone wants that.
Show off your craft work. What?
Yeah.
I still have backpacks from way back when.
Ah, I want a backpack. So yeah, we gotta go to the swag swap. Um,
That's pretty neat.
banking industry, right, is also, so we talked about financial services,
Hmm.
like wealth management, I feel like is a hot topic just in general. I don't even know what it looks like in Europe. So I'm interested in seeing what they've done in, I don't even know if this is related to ServiceNow or if it's just wealth management, right? So
We thought we'd offer a session on how to prepare for the future,
yeah.
independent of service now.
I mean, it's run by ServiceNow, so it has to be something related to ServiceNow. But maybe it's just the landscape or something. I'm curious. Um, process automation designer.
Right. We went through
So
this a little bit.
yeah, so Lisa's awesome. She's the one that gave me some feedback on in order to get our demo working. And
Oh,
so this one's full, but I'm excited
ah, get
to
get on the list, man. Have her
she
have
she'll
her
she'll
put
be
your
at
name
the
on there,
she'll be at
and
the
you can
dev
be
lounge, so I'll go run up to her and
well.
ask her.
Have her put you on as a second,
Oh my
and you can
gosh.
sit up on the stand.
I am not that far down that expertise yet. So um so yeah, gonna check that one out or try to. Predictive intelligence, AI,
Hmm.
again, um, super interesting. It's interesting Heineken used this. So I'm
Really?
very
Okay.
curious to, like, they had end users and resolver issues with IT issues. So like, who has IT issues with Heineken? It's like someone's drinking a beer maybe, and like they drop
End
the.
users have IT issues with Heineken? Is that what it said?
I, it's like end users logging incidents, right? So
I,
how
I
like
wonder if they mean end users within the company, not like the
I'm
drinkers of the
assuming that
beer.
you, but I just thought, like, I want to submit an issue, an incident to Heineken while drinking their beer.
I have a technical issue with my beer.
Yeah, yeah. So, so that'll be interesting. The welcome beach party. Who doesn't want to go to a
Okay.
beach party? Um,
In the Hague.
in the Hague.
Is
So
it so I don't know my geography that great over there in Europe.
it's close to the water.
Is it close to the water? Okay. I
Yeah,
wasn't sure.
it may be a little cold. It's May still, early May, but um,
They're still cracking ice off. Got
yeah,
glaciers coming in off the waves.
yeah, because it's North Water, so
Yeah, yeah, up
uh,
way up north.
but it's a beach party, so I'll check it out. Um, this one said it was starting soon, so like I had to add.
It's already started. You missed it.
Yeah, yeah, apparently. Um, but this one is just leading practices and guidance, right? Like I
Mm,
feel like if I'm gonna learn some best practices, I want to learn it from ServiceNow. So we'll see what some of the. I think this is more sales focused, so I may not actually go to it, but um, we'll see.
yeah.
Adding a chatbot, like who doesn't want to add a chatbot to
Right. Right.
um, like and be able to do it quickly? So I'm hoping that something like this would be really interested to
Yeah.
get something up and going.
That sounds fun.
Automating provisioning and entitling users in 3 minutes. So you're telling me I can provision users in 3 minutes? Whew. Um,
Hmm.
so we're gonna see it's using Flow Designer, AD spokes. So I'm very
Oh,
curious to
okay.
to
Well,
see.
yeah, 80, I can see that probably because it's pretty well defined. I mean, unless you've got something weird within your AD that's non-typical, I bet you that spoke takes care of most of it, and that's why it's 3 minutes.
Yeah, some more EMR, so healthcare. So I think that should be interesting. So this one I thought is going to be really cool. So if someone's going to show me how to do JSON schema validation in APIs, like that sounds really cool.
Hmm.
So it's using server-side or scripted REST APIs, which I have
Hmm.
used before, and validating the request before data processing begins. Because normally what I do
Oh,
is I do some like manual validation, right? The JSON's parsed. I go pull like a few keys from it and see if those exist, and if they do, then process data. But if they're going to do maybe some fancy JSON schema validation, maybe use a library for it. I'm curious to see uh, what what Jared does. So, and I like his title, VP of Special Projects. How do we become VP of Special Projects? Um,
you own your own company. Then you can become VP of whatever you want.
so I didn't get on the other one that's live, but this one isn't live. This is a session, John.
Oh,
So I could do this
okay.
the day before, and
Yeah.
maybe we do some collaboration on this and
Yes.
see what's
Yeah.
going on. Um, an enablement bootcamp for automation engine. I put it on here. Maybe it's again like one that's before the day before, so I'll see what's going on with that. Um, Virtual agent API. So I think that's really interesting. Like imagine using your chatbots that maybe you already have a different chatbot you're using, or the million other ones that exist outside of the platform, and then utilizing it with ServiceNow. So I think that could be an interesting API connection.
Yeah, there are some standalone chatbots out there that
Hmm.
you can buy or use, and if you've got a pretty robust, let's say you're just new to service, you've just brought ServiceNow in, but you
Hmm.
have a mature chatbot set up for your business or whatever. That's kind of neat that you can integrate into that.
Yeah. And oh, I already started this one. Um, oh, so how to avoid causing skipped records? Oh man, like what is Texas A&M gonna
Well,
shout
they
in
only
this one?
got 6 minutes to tell you too.
Yeah, so this is gonna be super interesting because my guess is that they're gonna say don't modify ServiceNow records and you avoid skip records. Um, but maybe they're gonna
Stay
have
out
some
of
super
box.
creative way. Yeah,
Do
yeah,
not customize anything.
yeah. And then this one was improving your upgrade experience. So this one already happened, so I thought I would check this out and see
Mm.
what's new about it. Um, Playbooks. I think
Hey,
we've done an
playbooks.
introduction to playbooks,
Yeah.
so I don't think I'll go to this 90-minute one, but I think if anyone wants a 90-minute session, this will probably be really good. One flow to rule them all. Just by the
Oh
title, I
man,
have to go to this.
that is scary.
And like can be used like a flow that it's kind of like the idea of functions, right? Like one flow that does, you know, is abstract enough to do all of your things for multiple catalog items and approvals and tasks, like
But
it's
is
just
is
using a
that
data
is
lookup.
that good business practice though?
I mean, that's a great question, right? If it's essentially, I mean, just, I mean, I don't know what his session is, but like based on what this looks like, is they have a flow and then they use data lookup tables. And the data lookup tables contain all of the data that you need in order for that flow to run effectively. And then you have a
Mm,
standardization across all of your catalog items.
okay. That
So,
might be, yeah,
and I do know
yeah.
there are now more data lookup tables that you can utilize in ServiceNow that don't charge you for licensing. So
Okay.
I think this is a potentially good way to do it. If again, I added to my agenda because I have no idea. But this sounds really awesome. So if you're in a space where you have massive amounts of catalog items and you're manually managing them, like this sounds like an awesome topic. Some advanced predictive intelligence. I mean,
Yeah.
pretty straightforward. That one again, I already have that one. Scripting in virtual agent. That sounds cool. Um,
Okay. Yeah, because I
um,
thought that wasn't there wasn't a lot of that before. Like it was
yeah.
very rigid.
So maybe they've expanded it more. Um, more healthcare ones. So if,
Okay.
there's a healthcare one. This was, also the playbook experience by Lisa, but I was able to get into this one, so we'll see. Well, I think it's the, the, the Monday one, so it's fine. Document intelligence I briefly talked about, where like the idea is like OCR with PDFs or something like that. I think this is just like really awesome for anyone that has any PDFs that they worry about or forms that people have to fill in and they have to be scanned, and then the data can't be pulled out easily. So
Yeah.
interested in that. Using debug upgrade. I don't even know what debug upgrade is, so but it says the word upgrade in it. So if it makes my life easier on upgrades, like I gotta go. Uh, Decision builder. This has come a long way, so I'm interested to see. This used to be super painful with a bunch of tables in the back end that you had to go and
Is
configure.
this for ideation?
This is for flow.
Oh, okay.
So if you have a bunch of if statements in a flow, like rather than it being in an if statement, you can use decision builder and it abstracts it a little bit.
Okay.
Virtual agent. So you talked about this, right? Using NLU or something for topic recommendations, being able to recommend a topic. So I think that one's going to be an interesting session. And again, I think this was the day before. I put this one on here, but using Outlook, like, and then having ServiceNow just UI native inside of emails sounds cool. I know it's been
Huh.
around for a while, but like it's nice because it can use Microsoft's API to retrieve information. So if you've had to copy and paste, something from an email and fill it out in ServiceNow, like this could potentially make it easier. So essentially, see your service portal within Outlook. Crazy.
Oh boy.
We talked about financial services, so this is
Mhm.
full, but maybe I'll try to go to it. And then we talked about the healthcare one. Whew,
Yeah.
this
You
is
got
a
a busy
massive.
schedule if you're going to get into
Yeah,
those.
so let's actually see what my agenda looks like now. So nothing on May 11th apparently. That's sad. Oh, sorry. What was that? May 10th. Okay, nothing. Oh, I just had to refresh. All right, May 10th. Look at that. We got the beach party. We
Yeah.
got welcome reception. Let's see what the 9th is. We got nothing on the 9th, so I guess none of those on the 9th actually show up. Oh, this can keep going back, so let's just go to the 12th. All right, so I have a few
Oh,
duplicates,
yeah. You got
or
some
sorry,
conflicts.
conflicts, but not so bad. And then this one looks pretty busy. I mean, I think it's actually pretty good. Only a few
Yeah.
conflicts that I have to choose between. Like this is a 3 conflict, but and again, most of them I couldn't get into, so that was kind of rough. But there's a calendar
Mhm.
button, which I'm worried to click right now, but let's
I
do
think
it.
it'll just push it to, yeah.
Will this work? Oh, I have to like subscribe to it. I didn't even read it. This is everyone can follow it because this is a unique one. So interesting. All right. Well, someone can sync their calendar with mine if they so choose. So yeah, should we try registering for the digital one, John?
Yeah, let's try that just so people can see how to do it like me.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna have you drive, so
Oh boy.
yeah. Or I mean, I could, but where would the fun in that be?
I got to see if am I logged in now? Okay, I am logged in. Manage registration. See, this is where I got all hung up.
Hopefully my browser doesn't crash. I just had like a million tabs open.
Because see, you get down here to the bottom, and then you have this by checking the box below,
I don't think you're actually sharing
acknowledge.
anything.
Oh, let me share it then. Where's my?
And I don't even, I'm like waiting for Melon to load because like I broke
Yeah,
things.
well, ignore all my 8 bajillion tabs too. So,
Well, I don't even think
uh,
I'm gonna be able to share your screen. So,
oh, you can't share my screen?
well, I'm like waiting for the app to load because I broke Firefox, and
Oh, nice.
having
All right.
that many.
Oh, did we just bump? Oh, did Dorian just get booted off? Did you
Oh no,
did you
I,
just
I
get
like
booted off?
crashed. Yeah. Hopefully we're still. I mean, it
Nice.
says we're running, so we'll see. So I see a black screen for you. Is that what I'm supposed to
Okay.
see?
Let me see what I'm actually sharing here. All right. So I want to share a window. Where did it go? I think it's this one. Let me know. Can you see anything now?
Yeah. Hello,
Okay.
Jon. We see you.
Hello. All right. Now I
Yeah,
actually have to bring that up.
so we're gonna hide us for a second.
Okay. So yeah, so I was looking at the registration piece, and maybe this isn't it. I don't know. Um,
Your
and
registration is almost complete. Filled all that out.
see, this is what got me nervous right here. This guy.
Oh, uncheck it, right?
All right.
Okay, click continue. Oh, you need to check it. All right, check it.
At
It's
least
okay
two
if it doesn't.
values. Yeah.
Yeah,
See, please select at least one more. Oh, one more. I got it. I thought it said one or more.
click continue. Maybe it will. Yeah, digital
Digital
package.
package.
Oh,
Okay, that's much. Whoa, I didn't even click anything. All right.
congratulations.
I
Woo!
guess I'm registered now. So now,
That was so
now
easy.
I, oh, and I even just got an email too. So is it, what are the, I don't even, oh, there we go. All right.
Yeah.
Session category? No. Okay, I just
What
want to know how I
else?
can make sure that they're digital, right? Or is it just on
I
demand?
think
Is
I
that
think
the
it's
one?
just on demand. I think they'll only like notice there's no live, right? So you don't even see that live one that I did.
Oh,
So
right.
I think all of these are going to be on demand for you.
Okay, so this is how I usually do it, right? I get in here, I look at the product, and I usually hit up the ones that I'm most interested in.
Hmm.
Since I've been doing a lot of work in Employee Center, I'm after that. Um, Integration Hub is something I'm interested in, but not anything I do normally with. Next Experience is huge for me.
Hmm.
Um, and then, was there anything else? I think I may have at one point had virtual agent, but I don't do a lot with virtual agent, so it's not something that really hits me
Yeah.
as something I want to see right off the bat. Because I'm always like very like you have a ton of stuff that's conflicting. I don't want to run into that problem. Hopefully.
Hmm.
All right, is it showing what I filtered? I can't tell.
I
Didn't.
think so. If
All right.
you scroll up now, you'll see that the first one is
Okay.
gone, right? There's Astrid
Um,
with Citizen
yeah,
Developer.
and citizen developer. That's a good
And if
one.
you click, can you click like the heart maybe on it just to show like nice
Hey,
and
before it
then
wouldn't let me do that.
and
Yeah.
then now it'll add it to your agenda. So
This
um,
one kind of was intriguing to me too. No code automation to your app. I was like, wait a minute, that's interesting.
yeah, I think
Um,
that's gonna use like Flow Designer templates, right? So an admin uses creates a
uh,
template for you, and then you can add it to your app. Like that's kind
yeah.
of where that one flow to rule them all kind of sounds nice. So,
And then this adventures in design patterns, I thought that sounded kind of neat.
ooh,
The
yeah,
problem is I can see both of these two are at exactly the same time.
I
So I'd
see.
have to I'd have to decide which one I'd actually want to watch. The other problem being virtual is, can I devote 100 minutes to something on a day, right?
Yeah.
Um,
Hopefully, so last time they put the labs in Now Learning, so I'm hoping maybe
oh,
they do that again,
yeah.
right?
If it's not really like, if I can go to it on my leisure,
Mhm.
then it's definitely a an easier thing for me to ingest, right?
Yeah.
Um,
All right. Well, we're
oh,
running
there's
on time, John.
are we?
So
All right.
so
Well,
let's.
for me, it's really I always look for stuff that I'm I'm doing, um, and then from there it's then I try to figure out what I'm conflicting and which one is the real one I want to get into. But it's been a while since I've been to a knowledge, and sadly, I don't get to go this year to any of them. But I'm hoping next year I'll be available for at least one. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Because
Well,
the one thing that I really was neat about the snug I went to was it was in person, and it's been so long since we've done an in person anything that it was just nice to to get back into seeing people again, and shaking hands and talking real time.
yeah, we haven't even seen each other in person, John. We
No.
talk all the time.
It used to be when I first started Cask, I met a lot of the people in person because we were still small and all that, and so I knew a lot of the people because I had met them in person. Now there's so many people at Cask now that I have never met,
Mhm.
and it's just like yeah, it's one of those. It's one of the little pieces that remote work does suffer from, where you don't get to see people in person. And it's not that I'm looking to get into an office. No,
Yeah, yeah.
I don't want to go to an office, but occasional meetups is pretty nice.
Yep, I agree. I agree.
Yeah.
Well, I'm excited for Knowledge. Next week we're gonna be live. We're gonna do some live sessions at Knowledge. So either in between those sessions that I'm at, or John's gonna cover some of the New York ones. Maybe we'll call somebody in that's at New York and see what
Yeah.
it's like to. What are we missing out on, right?
Yeah. We'll have a man on the street.
Yeah, yeah. Hopefully they're carrying around this big mic. They can like walk and they're like
that
holding like
that
a
would be
camera. It'd be
yeah.
so great if they're like holding like the webcam and someone has a laptop and they're just like walking with a mic. Like I would love that so much.
That
Oh,
would be so great. Just have them like with a big giant spotlight on their face.
yeah, that'd be so good. But we'll see if
So,
we can.
s- it, for people out there, if you see a Cask booth
Mhm.
and you see somebody recording something on it, go right to it and say, "Hey, are you doing inside the barrel?"
Yes,
And
yes,
if we're on, I'll tell them to turn around and put them on camera. Yeah.
yeah. It's great. I love this idea. So, all right. Well, thanks again.
Yeah.